Alpacas are generally calm and gentle animals, but they can also be very playful, especially when they're still babies. The adorable baby alpacas are always curious about their surroundings and like to explore everything around them. They will use their cute little noses to sniff out all sorts of interesting things to play with. On today's episode of Animal Wonders, we'll join an adorable baby alpaca for a wonderful day at the farm. This is the story of a baby alpaca named Gerald. Gerald woke up in the morning, yawned, and stretched his soft, fluffy body. He was a healthy baby alpaca with a thick, luxurious fleece that was sure to become even softer and fluffier as he grew older. His mother, a majestic female alpaca with a regal bearing, nuzzled him affectionately, her warm breath tickling his ear. She had given birth to Gerald just a few months ago, and she could help but feel an overwhelming sense of love and pride for her little one. Since then, Gerald had grown so much and learned so many new things, and she couldn't wait to see what the future had in store for him. It was a beautiful sunny day on the farm, and Gerald decided it was the perfect time to start exploring. He trotted over to his favorite spot near the barn where he loved to roll around in the hay. As he munched on the sweet-smelling grass, he suddenly noticed something strange. It was a long, thin stick that had been lying on the ground unnoticed until now. Gerald had never seen anything quite like it before, and he was instantly intrigued. He took a few tentative steps towards the stick and then stopped, unsure of what to do next. Should he try to eat it, play with it, or maybe try to climb on top of it? Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to take a closer look. Gerald bent down and sniffed the stick cautiously. It smelled like hay and dirt and something else he couldn't quite put his little nose on. He took a small bite of it, but it was hard and crunchy and didn't taste good at all. So he quickly spit it out and decided to try something else. He pushed the stick around with his little hooves, sending it rolling across the ground. He chased after it, nipping at its heels until it stopped. Then he tried to climb on top of it, but slipped and landed on his back. Gerald lay there for a moment, stunned by the suddenness of it all, but quickly recovered and was back on his feet in no time. He shook his head to clear the dizziness and started playing again. He nudged the stick with his nose, trying to get it to move. And when it did, he barked joyfully and continued his game. He rolled over, trying to get his back up against the stick, but only managed to make himself even more dizzy. So he took a break to catch his breath and rest his head on the warm ground. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Gerald's energy started to fade. He had played with the stick for hours and was getting tired. Plus, it was lunchtime, and he was getting hungry. He trotted over to his mother, nuzzling her side and letting out a soft, satisfied sigh. He could have stayed there forever, just basking in the warmth of his mother's love and the comfort of the hay. But the call of adventure was too strong to resist. He knew there were other things to explore, other games to play. So, with a final glance back at the stick, he turned and followed his mother away from the barn. They joined the rest of the herd, grazing peacefully in a nearby field. Gerald felt a sense of belonging, of being part of something bigger than himself. He knew these animals were his family, his herd mates. And even though he was still just a baby, he knew he was loved and protected by them. Gerald spent the afternoon playing with the other baby animals on the farm. There was a playful goat named Billy, a curious pig named Petunia, and a silly chicken named Henrietta. They chased each other through the fields, hid and seeked behind the trees, and splashed in the shallow water of the creek. Gerald loved playing with his new friends. He barked and squealed with delight as they ran and played. He was so happy to have found such wonderful companions. As the sun began its slow descent, the sky turning a brilliant shade of orange and pink, Gerald and his mother made their way back to the barn. They had spent a wonderful day together, filled with the simple joys of life on the farm. Gerald snuggled up to his mother, feeling safe and loved. He knew he had a wonderful life here on this farm. He was loved by his mother, his caretakers, and all the animals. He had plenty to eat, a warm barn to sleep in, and endless fields to explore. What more could a baby alpaca ask for? Gerald had learned so much since he was a tiny cria. He had discovered the joy of playing with his favorite stick, the pleasure of running and jumping with his new friends, and the comfort of being close to his mother. He was growing up fast, but he knew that no matter what, he would always be loved and cherished here on the farm. As he drifted off to sleep that night, He dreamed of endless fields of hay, playful goats, clucking chickens and swimming pigs. It had been a wonderful day for a baby alpaca, and Gerald couldn't wait to see what adventures awaited him next.